Hello, friends. I'm Eric Hutchinson. I'm the principal broker and owner of Hutchinson Realty. Let me ask you a question. Do you know what the first steps are to buying a home? Many buyers think that going out and looking at property and then making an offer on a property is the first steps to buying a home, but that's not true. When I get a call from a buyer who wants to go look at a house, the very first question I ask is, have you talked to a lender about your financial options? Because if you can't afford to buy a home, then what's the point of going out and looking at property? Also, how much of a home can you afford? So today, I'm talking to a lender who has over 35 years of lending experience. And I ask him the questions about, how do you get pre-qualified? I also ask, do you do a credit check on the buyer to get pre-qualified? And what is the minimum credit score if you are trying to buy a home? What will qualify you for a loan? And then finally, how long does it take to close a loan on a piece of property? These are all really important questions that we're going to be talking about, and I've got a great interview coming up. So let's get into it, shall we?
Well, thanks, Eric. I am a banker. I've been a banker for the past 37 years. 30 of those years, I've been a mortgage lender or a mortgage loan manager. I believe I'm qualified. I make most of my businesses in Northwest Arkansas. However, when people are moving out of Northwest Arkansas, I also make loans, in other areas of the country.
So I've got a buyer, and the buyer says, no, I haven't talked to a lender yet. And I say, okay, well, you need to contact a lender, and I give them your phone number and they call you. So kind of walk me through, how does a buyer get pre-qualified for a loan?
Sure. The pre-qualification process is pretty simple. The borrower is going to provide me information. Basically, I'm going to ask him how much, or what does he do for a living? How long has he been there? What's his income? What will you be using for your down payment? Those are really the two most important parts is income and assets. I'll ask them to fill out an application, and I will pull a credit report. And after I pull the credit report, look over his income, his assets, I should then be able to prepare a pre-qualification letter that I can send to him. I can send to the realtor. So that's kind of the process, and it's a fast process. I mean, it doesn't take long. I can do a pre-qual in 30 minutes. I mean, so it's not like it's going to take me 5 days or 3 days or a couple of days. We'll get this done relatively quick.
On the credit check, is there a minimum threshold that you say, yeah, it looks like you're qualified, but looks like, or you might say you're not qualified based upon your credit check? So do you ever have to have that conversation, and what advice do you give them if they're not qualified?
Sure. Yeah, of course. There are times, the minimum credit score, I would say in most cases is 620. If you go below 620, it's going to be tough to get pre-qualified for a home loan. But once you go above that, that's not an issue. If you are below a 620, I will probably give the borrower some advice on what they might be able to do to push that credit score where it needs to be to become pre-qualified with the credit.
Okay, so let's say that you pre-qualify a buyer, and the buyer makes an offer through my company, because I'm the only real estate company in Northwest Arkansas. But let's say they make an offer on a house, and the seller goes, yep, we'll accept it. And they looked at the pre-qualification letter, and they say, okay, they talked to a bank, and they're ready to move forward. So they accept the offer, and the buyer calls you and says, hey, our offer was accepted. Now, what's the next step for the buyer to accomplish to move his loan forward?
Sure. I'm going to ask him for a copy of the contract, and then I'm going to send him a next steps email that's going to indicate all the supporting documentation that I'm going to need to verify the verbal information that he gave me for the pre-qualification. So I'm going to probably ask for pay stubs. I'm going to ask for W-2s. I'm going to ask for the bank statements where his funds are at.
So let's say that the buyer is really good and gets you all the information immediately. How long does it typically take to close a conventional loan? And maybe does it take longer for an FHA or RD or VA loan?
Typically, we like to see 30 days. I mean, that's kind of the time frame that we want, because there's other people involved in this. There's appraisers that we're working on their timelines. So 30 days is I think a good time frame. I will say, if you're looking at rural development or maybe the bond program, you might want to be 45 days, because after we look at the loan and approve it, we have to send it to them for their approval. And so sometimes that takes a little bit longer, but primarily 30-day contracts are very doable, especially in this market.
Randy, thanks so much for answering my questions and for taking time out of your day to do that. I don't want to take up too much more time, but please tell us where our audience can get a hold of you. Give us your contact information, and let us know how people can reach out to you.
Sure. You can always call me on my cell at 479-246-8151. And you can email me at rdunham, DUNHAM, @arbest.com.
Great. Well, Randy, thanks again, buddy. And I'm going to try to send you some customers real soon so we can both put food on the table. And so thanks again for visiting with me, and I hope you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching our video today. I hope it was informative. If you are a buyer looking for a home and you need to get pre-qualified, reach out to Randy and then reach out to us at info@hutchrealty.com. You can message us on this video, or you can visit our webpage and pick out one of our qualified, experienced realtors. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a blessed day. Hey, are you still watching? If you are, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, like the video and go to our Facebook page, and you can follow us for all the best information on Northwest Arkansas. Have a blessed day.